Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are. I'm the Caretographer, and welcome to my stream, where today, again, we will be making maps. Very excited to be back at work. I definitely had to take a couple days off because I wasn't sleeping too good. I just, my brain decided that 4 a.m. was a great time to stay up till. So, the next morning doesn't feel great. But last night, I got my sleep back right. I woke up feeling refreshed and invigorated. Cleaned the room, chatted with the lore master a little bit. Still chatting with the lore master. Yeah, totally. It's like it feels like, it feels good. Or like that feeling in your brain where you're just like tired, but like you're still going, and it's midday, and you're just like, oh my god. Yeah, not fun. Sleep's important, everybody. Make sure to treat your body with respect. Looks like it's just us over here on Twitch today. Oh, how you doing today, Lo? I was glad I got to actually check out your stream. No, your name's not Lo. Your name's Lore. I already have given you several cute nicknames. 15% shields. I feel you on that, my dude. Yeah, the budget definitely went short on this starship. More art stuffs. All right, nice. We can make some art together. Ugh. Yeah, I figure we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit. We'll get everybody in the room here. See you still filing into their seats. And, so we got an ad break coming up in 4 minutes. I'll probably post that. I will get the DA ski up. Let me just get it going. Let me get it prepped. Yup. No, definitely not Nikki Stan. I'm a Taman Stan, and you can blame Juan for that. Oh gosh, you've not been turned on to the delicacies that are Taman? Yes, actually. Do I have to learn you once more, my friend? I've been learning you all week. That's okay. It's okay. That's what friends are here for. We're in Taman. It's okay. You just need to be sexually confused when you listen to this music, and that's all we're looking for. Is this the one we want? No, we want guilty. Yeah, you need to be turned on to the Supreme white sweatpants. No, not that one. Is it Criminal? Yo, you can learn me right back, friend. This is what I would love that. Show me what you know, and I'll show you what I know, and that's called being friends. Move. When you listen to too much of his music and you can't find the one song you're looking for. I'll have to learn you later. About Taman. I guess I can't find the song that I want to show you. Hello? Big Summer Blowout! Love that movie. Oh, this is the worst feeling ever. Are there any NPCs that DA could really use? Honestly, it's more of a question of like what you have and have not done. You know, I would honestly a better way to look at this would be like to look at like module content and stuff. Like, what do people literally need? So like I would like just go look at Curse of Strahd and just look at the monster list in Curse of Strahd and be like, okay, you know, like 20 to 30% of the D&D market is playing that module right now. Yeah, it's hard to give an answer because it's like as a creator and as a DM, it's just like whatever I decide I need, you know? Like when my last campaign, I was like, I want to do a really strong aberrant theme, so everything is gonna be a freaking beholder / mind flayer / hybrid something. You know, it's like if it doesn't exist, I'll homebrew something. You know, so I got to homebrew a couple. So like here's on the conversation we were having earlier, right? Like I needed a tool to fit a purpose, right, Lore Master? So I was like, oh, let me take a creature and then pretend like it had been mutated by aberrant magic, and now that's my homebrew creature. Like I wasn't just like sitting here like, oh, you know what would be cool is if you took an aberrant and merged that with a sand beat, you know, like I wasn't that. I was like, oh, like I need something. I was like, let me search for so like I feel like it's just like the way I homebrew is just different. The gnome Ceramorphosis, that's awesome, yeah. Or Ceramorphs, I should say. Yeah. The Who's this Sarah you keep talking about? My wife. You want what I did again? Is just decide to not switch my capture over. I'm the worst streamer ever. Here we go. Here we go. I can do this, Lo, I promise. One of these days, I'm just gonna have a stream producer, a stream moderator. You're gonna do all this stuff for me. They'll do it all for me. I won't even have to worry about it. The ability to see, Lo, you get this because you do 3D art as well. Like the ability to just see past things, like to ignore my stencil and pretend it's not there, but also need it there when I need to look at it. Like you just need to like force perspective on your brain. And honestly, it's like when I was doing 3D modeling and stuff, like you get so tired, you get so fatigued by trying to just perceive and stay inside of a 3D thought process. Like by the end of it, you're just like gassed. You're just like, I'm gonna go lay down. but like also like super rewarding. I remember anytime I finished anything that I was trying to do, I was really happy. And it's like when the model starts coming out of your clay on the computer, it's like just like a great feeling. So like I don't think I'm gonna hang the hat up entirely on 3D modeling. I just don't think like physically I'm in the capacity to do it right now. It costs money to kind of invest in the programs and stuff. I really should be modeling. You have the right tool though. It's the I don't know if you use Wacom. That's the tablet I use, but I just have a non-screen tablet, the super cheapy, which is fine for sculpting, I think, because X-Pen, nice. Yeah, it's fine for sculpting because you don't necessarily need to be as precise or intricate. But I tried doing some art, like some like character art and some other types, like some emoji art and stuff, and it is a little difficult having that application of like all like eye connection to your screen and stuff. Being able to literally touch like you're drawing on a pen and paper is like the new tablets. They're freaking wicked cool. How's it been performing for you? You like it? It's like I'm very much in the ballpark of like I don't think a more expensive computer part ever means that it will be better, because I've seen too many expensive pieces not be good. Yeah, it's really hard. Like you just give up a certain amount of accuracy innately just because you can't touch the pen exactly to where you're looking. But I surmise, I mean, somebody with some skill, talent, and experience could definitely make a lot of art on one of those non-screen tablets, and I assume that's probably where the majority of people started. You don't like the stylus? Can you just change your stylus, or you like stuck with this one and you don't like the way it feels? I love mine. I don't think there's really much that goes into it. You know, it's simple little rubber grip. It feels nice in the hand. I can still grab my mouse with it. Sometimes I'll throw it in my hand glove here, just like keep it safe. But then you got the alt. I think it's Alt and Shift. There are these two buttons, Alt and Shift. So yeah, like my stylus is super simple. I wouldn't really see what you don't like about it. The only one works for this model, and it's the only one for it. Essentially, the body of the pen flexes and accidentally clicks the button. Oh yeah, okay, so that would drive me nuts. Yeah, and you can't equip any other styluses to it. That's sad. So like this is like my whole thing. Like computers are dumb because of capitalism. Like computers could be so much better. Like there's no reason other than we said it can't for that stylus not to be able to be used with other stuff, which I think is just stupid and cruel. It's like the Steve Jobs freaking Apple iPhone freaking paywall. Like it's a bad business model. Stop doing it. It's bad for human society. Cut it out. Computers can be so much better. Wow, Cork, you're just gonna come in here and say my rivers look weird? Harsh. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, everything's gonna look a little weird, my friend, because this map is meant to be perceived from way up here. Not rivers, a river. Just this singular river right here. These like 3 different styluses. Nice, there you go. This upgraded. And I guess that's when you buy the cheap tools, you're gonna have some setbacks. The one with the delta in the middle of it. This one? This one. Am I mousing over the one with this delta that you're speaking of? Yes, this one. What looks weird about it? The hook? This hook? Dude, I love it. Yeah, welcome, Cork. You're hitting the ground running. Get in here, my friend. We just chilling up in here. To make sediment islands in the water, you would need to slow down the flow. But the hook feels like it could be a natural barrier. Yeah, there would be something creating that sediment, right? A pseudo reservoir that would then like overflow off the side, right? Word. Well, that's I totally agree with that sentiment. And once this is done loading, we're gonna go take a look at it together. And also one thing we do need to bear in mind is I am not responsible for what this map looks like. It is the stencil. As in this map already exists, and you know, if that could be a lore or a fantasy reason, it could very much just be this hill right here, this mountain. Maybe this is a rocky point right here. And this is all swamped out too. So this will be swamp. You see this discoloration here. So it looks like right here is where the water kind of builds up and then leaks out the side. Maybe put a couple of rocks in here and then maybe like add some rocky terrain right here just to kind of accentuate it a little bit and kind of just like take your advice. Wizzy Dizzy, I'm busy right now. Good, busy streaming. This is another freaking telemarketer trying to sell me something. That's great. Wait for it. Are you an affiliate? Well, come look at my stream. You'd find out. You'll find out. Hey, why? What do you mean, lore? What do you hate? Ooh, for what? Be nice. Oh, as at work. Yes, we hate work. Never mind. We can be mad at work all we want. No, why can't I wear a scarf? What? What's wrong with my scarf? So? It's chilly! Yeah, we don't just crank the heat over here. What? What house were you raised in where your mother didn't say, "Are you cold? Put on a sweater." Oh, you're cold right now? Try a hat. Who's Fred Jones? You touch the thermostat and you'll be cold. Dead cold. Yeah, Low got it. So Quark, right now I'm working on a commission map for one of my clients. They have requested that I do a rendition of Mike's World, Beyond the Wilderness, or The Wilderness Beyond. Thanks, Lore Master. um, so the Weird Rivers world. Oh god, y'all are trashing on me right now. It's okay. I can't take offense because this is not my work. It's not my content. It's Mike's world. Supposedly this is like some classic D&D stuff. There we go. And I think just like I love your 2 cents because not yours, Quirk's, because you know like it's encouraged me to throw some rocks and add to the scenery a bit. And this is kind of how I haven't really gone in and curated any of this like as far as painting the scene, but I like the idea of this like being a little rocky build up. And as that's why these islands have kind of been created. Don't heckle me. It's like I am actually working right now, so I can't. Don't try to distract me. If you have a question, please let it be an important one and not one that's just here to distract me. Looking at you, lore master. I have a question. Oh, go ahead, Laura. What is it? Oh, you raise your hand, do you? So everybody knows I'm currently talking to Lore Master in Discord, so they're just being an ass. What was the channel you just joined that said "Don't be a dick"? Don't need to. I'm already a dick on my own channel. I made my own Discord, so I could be. Let's see. Yeah, that kind of looks good from way up here. Okay, and then bada bing. So yeah, so Cork, I love it. I love it. Even though like I said, like it's not like I like decided to put these like this. It's still a good note in the sense of like I always love trying to emulate nature in its true form. Which can be really hard because nature is like this ultimate combination of symmetry and like randomness at the same time, where like everything is a planned design, and if you look like deep inside of pine cones, like you can see like formulas that exist in the world, right? But like also it's sporadic, and who knows where this rock is, and everything's just kind of random and as it lay. So it can be hard when you're map making to try to fully emulate that, but be damned if I'm not gonna try. Yeah, and this just like make this like you said, like this would be like some type of like rocky. I see this as like the water ran down, it hit a big formation of rocks and it slowed it down, turned all this into marsh, and this is kind of like overflow lakes. And then this is all rock, so it didn't push through any of this, so it's just gonna like cut a Grand Canyon through this, up and around. Oh no. I'll have to make this like bleed like down because this comes up. Look like everybody's starting to file in. We love it. We love it. Do 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 do. Okay, I'm just trying to finish up this stencil work before I move on with life. Yeah, which one do you think comes through the best? The one that I posted is the lightest one. I think that one is the best. It gets too dark on the other ones. Okay, swamp work. I like doing the swamp work after. Just because it's easier to visualize it. Okay, so we'll move on. Shut. Yeesh. Yeesh. Here we go. It really doesn't matter if I mess up the edges. I mean, it's just kind of like just the reality. Even if I had the whole map out all at once, it would just mean I would have to do everything. Like I would have to do every hill in entirety, you know. It's like, or I would do it in chunks, like I'm doing, and then come back and like fix said chunks when like inevitably like that hill gets smushed because I'm using the flat brush next to it to kind of get all this stuff where I need it to be. So I don't think it's necessarily making me more work. Little clicky clacky buttons. Clicky clicky. Clicky clicky. Yeah, I hear everything you do. It means you have poor mic awareness. And that is not to say that is mean. It is to me to... See, there you go again. There you go. This is not a hate crime against your person, okay? This is me just letting you know that maybe you think you're muted or not being heard, and perhaps somebody might hear what's going on. So, you know, just like a heads up. Or like a hey, you know? Sometimes you're in the back or the bathroom just like singing a song, and we're all sitting in chat just like, I wonder when Lore Master is going to realize we're listening to them. You know, and it's been like this for a while. This is who you are as a person. That's okay. We love you. What do you mean? You're one of our greatest friends. These are all words of kindness. You can try, but I'm really fast. So you gotta catch him first. I don't know, there's something about drawing in the lines now that really like makes me happy. I'm coming for you, Ja Ja. Just hang on, girl. Whoa. Dude, it's literally, that's what I was serious. Like, it's not a joke. It's like 3D perspective. It's just because I've worked in this space. It's because I've done this and I've messed up and I've thought I saw something and like, nope, it's like, it's just experience. It's like role play, Rick, right? Like, you're really confident in your ability to role play and improv, right? Were you when you first started doing it and you've never done it before, It's because, like, quite literally, like, you have to pretend things are here and you have to turn things off. It's like, yeah, like, that's Low totally understood it because they have a similar aspect when it comes to painting 3D models. And I actually, if you were watching their stream yesterday, there's a couple, I don't know what tool it's called, but like they would hit a button and it would take their 3D model and it would flatten it and like turn it into paper almost. So like all the pieces, like the face looked like somebody had cut a line through the face and like peeled it off and then laid it flat on so it was like, I was like, whoa, like and even that is a perspective mind mush, because you're like, what, this is supposed to be 3D, but now all these things are not 3D. We just force them into a 2D. But it's just a tool that helps him kind of see, some of the corners and the nudges that get hidden, like underneath elbows and underneath, like little curves of fabric and stuff. And it's just like, it's the crux of 3D design, is like, how can I make myself perceive my art easier? Because on a computer, we are beholden to this two-dimensional screen, right? A 3D modeler, like in real life with clay, could move around their model in a 360 degree. They could come in, they could come out, like you get that 3D in real life. On a computer screen, you're forced to a two-dimensional perspective. And then we have to make 3D stuff. So like, you want to see how many times, like you see me right now, just like changing my screen angle, coming underneath the transparent, coming over the top, just changing the perspective 8 to 10 times as much when I'm 3D brushing a ZBrush model. It's like, I'm just like constantly like, oh my god, I moved the nose. What does it look like from perspective? What does it look like from peripheral? What does it look like over the top? What does it look like? And I was like, oh, I moved one piece of clay. Like, here's the rest of this model. It really puts into perspective like how difficult and how much work goes into these 3D models, once you kind of get that experience. From 2D to 3D for painting all the time. Yeah, it really helps. I noticed right off the bat, like, there's parts of your model that are like hidden almost, that you kind of need to get to, like the little nooks and crannies. So it helps with that, and it helps with, I bet, a lot of things other than just that. Yeah. So this is all flat, 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 flat. One hill here, one hill here. I believe this is like a low. Yeah, it's got to be a low flat. River forest thingy, I guess. Ish-y. Okay, let's have some fun. And it definitely, like I was saying originally, like, it fatigues you. It's tiring. Your brain isn't used to seeing things like this, and you're forcing it to like kind of think outside the box constantly every time you want to do anything. So it really gasses you. It's like after like a 4-hour session of roleplay, right? You're like, ooh, I'm drained. It's that same kind of concept. But I miss it. I definitely miss it. The reason I had to stop doing it was because it's too much discomfort for me holding that pen and doing all the clicks. Like DA, I can relax, I can sit back, I can just, use my mouse and just be very ergonomic. And even DA gets me tired. There's a lot of clicking in DA. And I knew my surgery was coming up, and I knew, just in general, it's like, it's hard to be creative and to work in a space consistently if it's just uncomfortable and, just not enjoyable in that regard. So I was like, I'm just gonna put it away and just kind of keep it in a safe and healthy place in my mind until I'm ready to come back for it with a healthy body, and with a bigger space to kind of give it that respect and regard that it needs. Because it is hard. Out of all the things I've self-taught myself, I think 3D brushing will be the hardest. It is freaking hard. Well, that's also the thing is like I get that hyper focus, you know, aspect. Me and Lore Master were talking about it yesterday. Kind of just like our ADD superpowers and like how sometimes they set us up for success and sometimes they don't, but regardless, and you know, like ZBrush or just 3D modeling in general is one of those stimulation activities that is so stimulating that I could so see myself sitting there for 8 hours with like an hour break in between, you know, and just brushing and modeling. You get lost. Like you try to do one thing and next thing you know you spent 2 hours and you're like, woof, you know, like let's keep going. I got more. But you know, I can't do these 4 hour, 8 hour shifts if it's like uncomfortable and painful for me, you know. So I gotta get the physical health there first before I can, you know, dive back into 3D modeling. That's awesome, Lo. That makes me happy to hear that. You know, like I think there's so many situations where computers and technology helps us kind of live the lives that we wanted to lead anyways. Where you still have access to art, even though, you know, I feel you on that too. Like for me, it's my shoulders. Gift to Gabby, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. We're just hanging out, chatting about life, chatting about what we think is fun and cool and nice and accessible in this regard. How you doing today, Gabby? Hope you're doing well. I'm just like do you have a disability? Have you been harmed? join the crew. Get in here. a bunch of old disabled fantasy gamers. Alright, I'll speak for us over here. The founder of this channel is young and beautiful and ready to sink their teeth into this world. And gracious and generous and benevolent. That's my favorite one, is after running us through your accolades, you go, and humble. Oh, I love that skit. It is always going to be entertaining. The 6 gods for your setting: the King of Demons, the Queen of Hell, and 2 entities that are question mark. Oh, this is like the game we were playing before. The King of Demons, the Queen of Hell, the Prince of Priests, and the Watcher of the Woods. I like the idea of an ambiguous god. I think you should do like an all-knowing, omniscient, like ambiguous god, similar to like kind of God, but like a fantasy version of it, and like also not the only god, not a monotheistic, you know, perception. Just like they're just in there with all the other bros, you know. They're just like they're one of them. I mean, supposedly they are. This is what I keep being told, but I keep being shown. Like they aren't gods or elder gods. We don't know where they are. I'm confused now, Gabby. I'm confused. They're just in the universe, or they're not tangible. Are they not tangible, or are they? So that's actually, I mean, I love all the perceptions of God. I really love the Greek um, introduction of gods, where it's a very human type translation, where these gods very much have and deal with the same issues that humans deal with, and their life is very similar to that in which of humans deal with, and like also their perspective, like Lo brought up, is very human. You know what you know. You've seen what you've seen. You're not you don't just know everything because you're a god. No. You got to see it first, or someone's got to tell you, right? Um, and I really love that, and I think there's a great storytelling element to that whole Greek perception of a pantheon. But I also like the other one. I also like the other side, which is like the all-ruling and knowing God, and like that participates. Like I like the idea of the powerful pantheons that play in D&D. So I think there's plenty of ways you can do it. It's really, as a DM, as we always say, is what's the tool you're looking for. Like deities and stuff. As we were talking Stormy, they they have kind of like a step between gods, which is again another like play on Greek mythology in a sense. You can think like Zeus and then think Hercules, right? Zeus is a god, and then Hercules is a half man, half god. And however you get to that can be your decision. In Greek mythology, it's the sexy time. Um, Stings, what's going on? It could be, like a knighting ceremony where Zeus taps Hercules' shoulders and bestows him power. Like whatever you want that to be in your world, it can be. Um, all the gods that ever exist, it's a lot. Yeah, that is a lot. They are something between gods and elder gods, the wife being the type of which is unknown. The wife loves all her followers and wants all the people to be her husbands and wives, united in love, free of jealousy and or strife. Oh, the polyamory, I love it. The burden of free will and all the pain it brings. Nice. So is this your homebrew world, Gabby, that we're chatting about right now? She sounds complicated. Nice. What setting is your world put in? As in, like, do you play a 5e world? Do you play a Pathfinder world? And then, like, also, I mean, it would continue. Like, do you play D&D Forgotten Realms, like in like current Sword Coast? Okay, 5e. So yeah, so continue. Do you play Sword Coast, like current? Do you play in a distorted version of Forgotten Realms, or is it like completely yours? There's many ways we can. Okay, so homebrew setting, just 5e concept homebrew setting. Um, got you. I got some more people joining in. We love it. Welcome. I'm the Caretographer, and today we're making maps. We're actually we're mapping. We're actually chatting with Gifted Gabby right now about their homebrew setting. They are letting us know about the gods, and actually this is kind of funny because we were just talking about this last week with Stormy and like the week before, and like gods and pantheons is like a common conversation that comes up here for our dungeon masters. The nested worlds. Each world is a hollow world with another hollow world inside it, nested like Russian stacking dolls. Interesting. Like planes inside planes.
Yeah, and is it infinite? Is it more of like a multiverse concept, or the hollow worlds go from the outer shell, one side far realmsy, in the outer celestial? The upper shell is the mortal world on the side. In the other Fey, Wild, and Shadowfell places, okay, that would be on the upper shell. The lower shell, the spire on both sides is not the Hells, and the molten core, the abyss, well, it's just the abyss. Okay, I mean, I guess it's just, in that sense, it's a different perception of the wheel. The wheel of planes. Well, I guess, like, I mean, when you say hollow, this is like this is a good descripting words, right? When you say hollow, I quite literally think you mean there's space inside this mug, right? But in this sense, if you have an entire world inside of a world, that's not going to fit inside this mug. So what I think you're saying is like there's planes inside of planes, and it's like a verse inside of a verse, where it's like this world exists through a portal of sorts that you need to travel through some type of magical means. Okay, yeah. Gaps. So it's like it's not physically tangible and existing. It would just mean like never-ending landmass at that point. So it's like you can look at the I don't know, is it the wheel of cosmetology? What's the Dungeons and Dragons plane circle thing? Which is like, I guess it's like a spread out version. I guess you're just kind of changing the perspective of which the yeah, I can maybe try to find it. Hold on. I wish the lore master would wake up and tell me, because I'm pretty sure they just know. Yeah, so yeah, the Great Wheel of Planes. The Great Wheel of Cosmology. Yeah, I was right. I was right. So essentially, because I am a nerd, shitty visuals. Come on, can I get a regular photo though? Oh, and where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to fandom, because it's my favorite place. Yeah, but a moment, my friend Stinks. I'm gonna be getting ready for a fiver here, and then swiftly getting back to work. But yeah, I think I can give you some time. But a moment. Okay, so here, this is what we're looking at, Gift to Gab, right? So this is the Wheel of Cosmology for D&D 5e. It holds your 4 elemental planes, which exist around the outside of the physical planet that exists. You have the ethereal plane that exists just on the outside, and then you have this like sandwich of the 3 planes that kind of all exist on top of each other at once. Like the Feywild is the material plane, is Shadowfell. They're all the same. It's like changing your lens. Like, for I have a rose-colored glass, I have a pink-colored glass, I have a blue-colored glass, and how you see that world. And then we have the astral plane, which goes into upper and lower planes. And inside the astral plane are several other planes. So it's like, just like the way this is depicted is like kind of spread out, and everything has its own space. The way you've kind of depicted it is very incestuous, in the sense of like it's a kaleidoscope, and all these planes are inside of each other and on top of each other in one pile almost. You can look up on the mortal plane and see the celestial plane. Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting perception of the cosmology wheel. Look, I got Wizzy Dizzy to follow me. Let's go, boy. Thank you for the follow. I am, in fact, an affiliate. Thanks, Wizzy Dizzy. Yeah, what do you got? What do you got for me, Stinks? I'm ready. I'm ready, and I definitely don't mind, you know, like putting off some of the map work. You know, I'm not clocked in, like charging by the hour. I get to look back at the hour and say, did I work for an hour? No, I didn't. You know, work for another 30 minutes and then call it an hour, right? So, like, don't feel bad. Please ask questions. We're here to hang out, everybody. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stinks is gotten over onto a homebrew natural crit. He's going official. He's off the Google Docs, and he is going official, everybody. Honestly, it really is a difference maker, and it's just like, it's such a good way to look at life and stuff too. You know, like if you just throw something out in a Google Doc, it's gonna look, you know, so. But you throw it into like the natural crit homebrew maker, right? And you make it look like it's some material and some play content, and like spruce it up and balance it, and you're like, damn, this looks way cool. It definitely ups the coolness. The Watcher of the Woods. Warlock subclass. And we have a protection barbarian by the name of Galdorian Changelings with Oath of Shade Paladin. And the Path of Protection Barbarian. Okay. On like the warlocks being priests and stuff, there's pathways. It exists. I've done it in the past. My last abjuration tank was a priest warlock wizard, and I shit you not, I had like one of the best like background stories for a character to have that like made sense and was like factual. I was like, hey DM, I'm gonna ask you if it's okay for me to triple multi-class. But like I'm prepared. I have a story. Like I'm not just like gonna min max and not try to min max my story alongside with it. That's not me. Like raise the bar. And that is the story of how I got a abjuration wizard, tempest domain cleric. Well, which warlock subclass did I pick? I don't think I ever got to pick the subclass. I think I only just took warlock 1 because I needed to get what is this spell that gives you shield? Arm of Agathis. So it was never about being a warlock. It was just about getting the right spells. Guards of the forest. By letting them control the environment of battle, the Watcher of the Woods is in multiple places at once, all carrying a lantern that has immortal forever. Yeah, but who are they warlock to? Who's their patron? And what is the service? Like, what are they... the thing that I think is specific and important about warlocks is that it's almost like an equation. There is a entity of power, can be a god, can be a lesser god, it needs to be some type of entity of power. And then there needs to be a deal struck in which that power is exchanged to the warlock, like a 1, 2, 3, and then you can do whatever you want with the story. So the Watcher of the Woods is the patron. Is that one of your gods that you've made, right? Yes, I get that very much. Now, what is the deal being struck with the warlock would be the next question. It's almost like a druidic warlock in a sense. It depends on the warlock, just giving general info on them. Well, I think there should be some type of like transition of power, right? I mean, that's like pretty much what the warlock does. They make a deal with the devil. I don't think it has to be a devil in any sense or form. That's why I say it needs to be a being of power. But there needs to be a deal. Like there's a deal struck, and like they have to be withholden to said deal. It hates those who push. I don't know that there's too many typos on that for me to translate. And those who harm children. The Watcher of the Woods does? Do. Okay. I'm starting to pick up your character kind of build here for the Watcher of the Woods. This pantheon of the forest. Well, so like I mean, I very much would like sit in the camp of like there'd be druids that follow the Watcher of the Woods. There could even be clerics that follow the Watcher of the Woods, right? There could be a whole bunch of people that follow the Watcher of the Woods, but like also there could be some of those people who have made a deal with the Watcher of the Woods to get power so that they can then in turn go and protect the forest for the Watcher of the Woods. I don't think any of those things are beholden or, dependent on each other, Oh yeah, like the Warlock of the Desert. I believe was the last one that you were working on there. Let's see. We're just working on this portion here. Swamp. That isn't a river. This whole time I thought this was a river. It's not. It's a squiggly line. Alright, we can get back in on water over here. Now called Primordial Omen. Yeah, I thought that one had good roots. I thought your idea was sound. I think it was just like the execution and just like figuring out the balance of things, which is really honestly like always the hard part when you're making a homebrew. The ideas are always the easy part. It's then making that idea come to paper and then making that idea, fit in with all the other ideas and Using primordial in front of anything makes it happen. I'm not gonna disagree with that. It just kind of just has some gravitas to it. It's like, primordial. Here's me trying to cut this out one more time. Okay, water. It's so hard. I can't get this spot to be perfect. Oh, you wanna what? OBS. OBS problems. There we go. Thank you. I had switched so we could have the conversation, and then ADD did not switch back. There's just so many buttons! Let's recut this. Just trying to get that little nudge back. Okay. Alright, one moment as I just kind of try and power through this last little section. Okay. Go. Bring this back a bit. Go. Yeah, still tile on that one. 1, 2, 6. We are almost like officially halfway done. And I think like look at how much water is over here. This is gonna go so quick. All this water over there. This like really big volcanic type area. So I feel like 1, 2, these 3 maps will go really fast. This is all the hills and the bobbin and the weaving. Trying to shape everything, and then like also, you know, like when you make a hill right here, and then you get to like edge the other side of it and stuff. So it's like, you know, I think the hills and the mountains take the most time. The water is fairly easy. Queek. Let's get some paint, some grass paint. And I'll be right with you, checking all y'all home brews and stuff. I'm gonna take a step outside and kind of just gather myself, get up off the computer, stretch my back. Man, you put the grass on there and just like makes it look so much better right off the drop. Alright, let's zoom in and let's save. Oh, my monks came into being due to Viking orcs raiding. Kung Fu monks, baby. that is literally the story of how monks became martial. It's a great story. Because it wasn't always like they originally started as like men of religion and like like priests of that preached pacifism, and like the Shaolin monks and like stuff like that really wasn't a thing, and it kind of like was a byproduct of kind of that history of the power struggle and like having it being in a warring time and then having the warring time cease and the transition of power and like who is going to be responsible for protecting whom or enforcing said person's agenda, right? Whoever is in power at that time. So yeah, very cool. Actually, what I just was watching, what was it? It was on the Shogun, not the Shogun, the Samurai, on Netflix. They've been putting more and more documentaries, which I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, throwback to when like History Channel was cool and we learned stuff, and we didn't just watch people freaking smack iron, and how dramatic a competition can be between smiths. So I was like, yo, let me watch this documentary on Netflix, right? And it was actually pretty good. It was like literally the equivalent of like, hey, like the old school History Channel vibe. Na, na, na. Alright. I saved. Exit. I'll take a $5 here. Like that we just pre-rolled off. I like my scarf. It makes me feel warm and cozy. La, na, na, na. Okay. What you got for me, Stinks? What you got for me? Oh, baby, stinks now. Guide to Galdor. Good dogs. I don't think in stench spray you actually ever say verbally that they need to make a saving throw against being poisoned. You just kind of infer it stinks. I guess it's a very small note, but the Malcaria is kind of cool. See the paper kami. Interesting. Divinely blessed paper. I do not like the free resistances to radiant necrotic damage. I don't think they make sense. I think this is very much a situation where, like I said, like if you're creating something that's already been created, don't create it, just reiterate. So the first thing that comes to mind is like an automatron. So we could go look at 5e. Automaton raise. Mechanical body. Because your body is made of inorganic material, you are not required to eat or drink. You do not need to sleep or do not breathe. You have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned and are immune to poison damage and disease. And then this also comes with a setback. Your body is too heavy to swim, and you do not possess a swimming speed. As well as this, when you are in very cold temperatures and environments, your movement is decreased. I don't know if that's actually on 5e. This is an old 5e homebrew on D&D Wiki. But like also like if this is like if this is for your fully homebrewed world, your scale and stuff could be based off of like what you want it to be. So I don't know if you have your own type of perception of a scaling system in your mind stinks. You know? Yeah, you give the paper cut a reaction based damage. That's super strong. When you die, you cannot be revived by any means short of the wish spell unless you are revived by the original creator or a bard. If a bard other than you creates or revives you, your appearance and personality changes as the artistic interpretation leaves some details altered or lost. Vital essence, you can only be restored via like an automatron. Yeah, it's very akin to an automaton. I would think about balancing based off that. And then here's what you wanted me to look at: the Galdorian, the changelings. The remnants of your hag blood, baby. Cool concept. Advantage on saving throws of Charm and Frightened. Disguise Self. Cool little trinket. 5 feet radius, so as long as you're 60 feet of this trinket as an action, you can see and hear as if you were in the engraving space. You're blind and deaf, and okay, so it's kind of like a familiar, in a sense. Yeah. I mean, out of the 3 races that I just read, the Melkorian, the Paperling, the Paper Cut, and then the Changeling here. I like the Changeling the most. The Galdorian seems the most like balanced and scaled. It's fairly interesting. I just think it's like, I think something that I'm noticing here is like some of your ideas are just not on the same scale as the other ideas, right? So it's like you have similar concepts, but the idea and the iteration aren't the same. So for example, like you're just dishing out a reaction-based damage spell on the paper changeling or the paper illuminate when it already has like really good abilities, you know, in that sense of like, you don't want to just say here's a good thing, here's a good thing, here's a good thing. You know, you want to, here's a small thing, here's a medium thing, and then here's a really good thing. Some of your characters are like just 3 really powerful things, right? As opposed to like having some scale and some balance. Not every feature on the racial sheet should be super powerful. Maybe one thing can be really strong, and then everything else is kind of like, you know, minor. Yeah, Gabby, I was just taking a 5-minute away, taking a walk outside. That's my office. We are in my office. See, I don't know if you got most of that, Stinks. But yeah, that's kind of my what I think about the about what I read there. Yeah, I would just in hindsight just like go back and just look, and like again, it's iteration, right? So it's like, look at the racial feats of a halfling, and if you don't feel like your race is as powerful as a halfling, and or is like more powerful or less powerful than a halfling, then you should change it. Like a halfling should be just as strong as a changeling, as a Galdorian, as a Melkorian, as a paper illuminate, as an automatron, as an elf, as a gnome. Racials should all feel the same. You shouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna pick this racial because it's so super powerful. Like that's a silly concept to get on, because that's against the intuitiveness of leveling up in RPGs. I don't want everything to be given to me right away. I want to earn it and build up to something. And the racial feature is something that is just like kind of in the background. It's more sub than a subclass, in my opinion. Right? Like, if you're gonna spend 20 levels learning how to be a warlock, how important is it that you are a tiefling? You just spent 20 levels figuring out how to be a warlock. You're very much more a warlock in experience than you are a tiefling. Like I think racials need to be downplayed a bit in comparison to a class. Oh, this is so cool. So because of my chromacast, I'm eating invisible applesauce.
I got an eye patch. I see through my head. Alright, let's get back on some maps. Got another hour in me, I think. The Moon Crone. Oh, that's your first class. All right. Oh yeah, dude, I busted into the kid's snack cabinet. Got myself a little applesauce squeeze pouch. Because Dad gets to eat too. Honestly, it's like this weird, like thing, because like I guess we just don't realize, you know, like how we're gonna feel like when things change in our life, right? So like we have the kid, and I'm always like, we're always trying to make sure the kid's eating good, right, and making sure he's staying healthy, and you know, it's got everything he needs, right? And he really likes to eat fruit, so like we let him eat the fruit, and like we intentionally go to the store and we buy all these different fruits so that my kid can have the fruit, right? And so like for the longest time I had this perception in my mind where I was like, all right, like the fruit's for the kid, like make sure the kid eats the fruit. And I was like, hey, it's like I like yogurt pouches, you know, like the yogurt sticks. I was like, I like those. I was like, why can't I have one of those? I was like, I like strawberries. Why can't Dad have some strawberries? I was like, you know what? Dad can see some of these cool things too. Even though like literally like my kid will down a thing of a flat of strawberries in like a day, 2 days. So it's like if I don't get on it, I'm gonna miss my chance. Homeboy eats like a truck. I love it though. We're blessed with a beautiful baby. I don't like how far I went over there. Oh, that's a big Control Z. I think I don't like it again. Yeah, cause I keep messing up my swamp over there. There we go. It's really it's kind of funny, but it's just the way my brain works. I like working on a canvas and then molding the canvas back to what I want. Like I think it's easier just to come in here and to raise things up like so, and then to cut around them and than to smooth them. I really don't want this to be that high. It's just kind of like a little like cropping of woods. Yeah, sure, perfect, cool. Rock and roll, baby. Smooth it. Smooth that. Smashing my swamp here. There we are. Save the swamp. Save the swamp! Let's see. 25, 50, and a 75 peak. So we already know that my room height is around 50 feet, is what I decided. Half of room height is 25, of course. And room height is at middle plateau. So medium plateau height is 0 essentially, so I can go 100, 200, or 100 below that. So I get like 300 to work with here. Feet in between. If that makes sense to you in your 3D brain. No worries if it doesn't.
I was muted because I sneezed. What's going on, Stormy? How you been? Yeah, dude. You guys think I'm doing a good thing, but just add another bell and a whistle to my streams. I need a manager. I need a stream manager. Like, there's no red button in the top corner that says no one hears you. Nice, cool, awesome. What was I saying? Me and Gifted Gabby there were chatting about gods just before you got here. Similar concept, like what the gods do, who they are, how strong are they, and what they're doing. No, I thought about that you had captions. I don't know if that's just like a turn a thing on, or, like what the deal is. I have to look into it. We don't do that yet. We don't do this yet. Okay, good. We're ready for water. You just use your Twitch extension yet? I'll have to look into it. No, not at all. I mean, you're a viewer. This is you're not the only one that might have that perception. Yeah, it's honestly just one of those things that like I just didn't think of, right? It's just something that kind of just like wasn't a thought process. So it's not to say like I don't want it or I wouldn't do it, but just honestly didn't think to do it. Not until I watched your stream yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool idea or a function. And also, if you don't like it or it's not suiting you, you can just turn it off, which I also liked. So you see, I'm definitely like, I ignore all these little strips as they're way too tiny for my life. And the dungeon master has said several times, like, it doesn't need to be perfect, so don't try to make it. So here's me not. It's okay we don't have that little strip inside the river. It's like super tiny. I think it just needs to be a really good rendition of what it is. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're talking like 90% effectiveness on this. And it will just like knock everybody's socks off, and I'm super excited for that. Ended pretty good there. Oh, a little chunky.
Na, 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 na. What's going on, Crafty? How you been, friend? I'm back in the lab again. They can't keep me out. We stay out here making maps. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely for me, it's how I've self-taught anything, is by being awfully open to advice and receptive to people's not demands but wishes, right? And it's more or less in line with like a customer service brain, where it's like you're just really just trying to please your clients and your customers, you know. So it's not, again, it's not to say like I don't want to do something, but at any point in time, it's like, as a customer service, like, you need a napkin, just let me know. You let me know you need a napkin, and I'll get you that napkin, right? It could be a napkin, it could be a fork. Like, you tell me what you need. Busy is good though, Crafty, right? Busy is good. It feels good. I've been alright. I've been busy, which is good, and has been feeling good for me. But like with that in my recovery, it's like I need to make sure I'm, you know, being kind to myself and not overdoing it. I definitely kind of like rode myself into a rut the past couple of days where I was like really sore and too tired to sleep, and I ended up like getting no sleep and staying up until like 4 a.m. like 2 nights in a row, and just was like really tired and just drained all day long because of it. But I kind of took a couple days off to, you know, not work and just focus on being healthy, and it definitely feels better, and I feel good today. So I'm back. We're back at it. We're back at it because we feel good today. For sure, Crafty. What's a death march, Stormy? Good enough. A fighter turned to a lich, and for them to remain a lich, they need to add more corpses, undead, to their death march, which is done through battle. Oh, so like their phylactery is like their army almost, the amount of like undead souls they have, you know, rallied around them. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm playing in on Monday nights. We do Dragonlance here on my channel, around 7 p.m. Eastern, and our last session we're talking to a vampire, von Einrecht, who has an army of undead that the king of Palanthus is trying to contract, and so we are there as his emissaries, and the vampire was very much like, yo, like, I'll come join you, but like, I need undead people for my army. So like, can I have all the undead people that come from this? And we're just like, what? Like, no, you can't just take all the people of our kingdom and turn them into zombies. And he was like, all right, fine, but can I do it to all the enemies? And I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it. You can take all the enemies as spoils of war. They're rightfully yours. If you kill the Lich, they go into one of the members of the Death March. Everyone in the Death March do decay as normal, only the Lich is not decaying. Oh, that's so good. That's so good, Storm.
Right? That's really good. I love that. So it's like not only is like do they have like this never-ending like supply of bodies that they can like source themselves into, meat shields, bone shields, if you will. But like that's the whole reason why. Like that's why the death march continues to march, is because it's constantly decaying. And you need to refurbish and reestablish your march. And you know what? I love that because it's like the logistics of an undead army should exist. Humanoid armies have logistics, so why wouldn't an undead army have logistics? It would, and it would come in the form of what Stormy has suggested, which looks like it comes from this YouTube video. Let's see who it is. Can fighters work as D&D villains? Yes, they can. Oh, Pointy Hat. I've seen Pointy Hat stuff before. Dun, 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 dun. We're looking Gucci right now. We gotta do trees. We gotta do a lot of trees. I'm behind on trees. Let's check our hills. Waiting. Done. I can see you, dunnage. You're dunnage. Let's give this some paint. For this little tiny mountain peak. And we're just gonna leave it like that. Just a little bit of rock. So an army of one, based off of Jet Li's movie The One, where he kills all of his multi-dimensional selves to basically become God. That's Loki. That's the plot line to Loki, which I really like the Loki show. Maybe it's just my Bidar going off the charts, but I really loved the Loki show. He also made Ranger Lich, Sorcerer Lich, Barbarian Lich, and those ones I remember for the moment. Cool, cool. Yo, so that's what, honestly, that's what Lodine was getting at. You know, with the endless lore, right? Crafty? So, like, you could be a paladin for this Death March Lich, right? Like, you could be like, hey, my job is to send you to, not the River Styx, but it's to send you over to frickin' the River Lich. Like, go join the march, baby. Yeah, exactly. And like very much inside this death march, there'd be lieutenants and generals, and there'd be like, you know, ogre skeletons and all sorts of different types of shapes and sizes, right? I mean, like if you wanted to get funky with it, you could start homebrewing. You could like take an ogre's or a troll skeleton and have it be turned into some wheels and turned into a ballista, right? And it's like a living ballista that's been like transmuted out of a skeleton, right? You could do a whole bunch of cool stuff. Like get to homebrew in the lore. That is a great explanation. They have no choice but to. Yeah, leave that. Okay, trees, stop stalling. Stop stalling. Care. Get your little trees. This mega forest is gonna take me so long. It looks like some water pokes through here. Don't forget your clusters. I'm using Dungeon Alchemist right now. Which you see pretty much all of my map making content has been Dungeon Alchemist on the stream here. My preferred program. Hey, good job making this river skinny, hey? Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Do 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 do. Ranger Lich. One moment, Storm. I'm just trying to get some trees out. I am working. I love when the trees just fit in, dude. You just like stick them in the little slot, dude. Dude, it's so satisfying for my brain. Like, I love it. And it just like automatically looks good. It's like, ah, it's like, yes. Let's see. So Ranger, let's. Need to kill them both. Ooh. All sorts of liches. There's this massive forest in the middle here. I kind of like it. What's another funny thing I realized as I'm clicking on this map? So when we draw pine trees, we always draw them in as a triangle in like a pseudo three-dimensional look. But when we draw deciduous trees, we just do a squiggly circle. Anyways, what's your idea, Stormy? This is my random thought. We will recruit countries to their castle, so I'll make each country be faced with a powerful lich that the players have to deal with. Pieces fail, they lose the country as an ally because the lich is dead. They gotta save the lich, because that's the king. Yeah, I think that's what they do that here. You see the little trunk at the bottom of it? You see that little black line at the bottom there? Yeah. So they kind of have them there for a little bit. But it's just like, just a perspective thing, really, you know? Which I thought was kind of cute. Okay. Trees, trees. Trees, 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 trees. Giant ass forest is gonna take me forever. That I'll probably just do during a D&D session tonight. Because I'm like, yo, it's just like a lot of clicking to do right now. Paint. Let's take a gander. I'm gonna do this first. A bunch of archways! Okay, Rocky Badlandish. Badlandia. We thought this was okay to let the swamp kind of roll into here a bit. Like so. Grass. Here. Grass. It's all gonna be swamp. Swamp, swamp. Swamp, swamp. Leaving this because the trail's gonna be there, swamp. Okay. I need to get crafty up here. Maybe I can try doing this. So I need to effectively make a line of land between these two things so that when I come and I do water as such, it will cut through. So now the second this water touches the ice, the Dungeon Alchemist tells it to turn it into ice. From a plague, the easiest solution is to perform a ritual which requires the use of an archfey word. Interesting. Beautiful. Just trim it up as much as I can. I should save. You're so right, Stormy. You're so right. I've been working for at least an hour and I haven't saved. But here's me just like, okay, I'll save, but let me just finish what I'm doing quick, right? And that's how we get caught. That's how we get caught. When we're like, yeah, just let me finish going around this corner quick. Let me just do this one thing quick. Oh! Oh! I should also have like a logbook for myself. Now that my life's getting serious, more serious, right? Okay, good, it saved. Okay, so like my idea is, now that I have this cut, looks great. My idea is to kind of come in with some snow. And I'm just gonna try and like decorate this up as best I can with some snow. And some ice flow. Ruled by an elf for 600 years, which has led to all the wars, or by that every ruler was convinced, tricked, forced to declare all the wars. I guess it could be whatever. Again, it's just like a storytelling element. It's like which storytelling element do you want the most here? Which one's the most intriguing? Which one do I find personally more intriguing? Is the elf the Death Lich? Is that the one we're talking about? I think that's the most interesting idea. I think that's an awesome idea for several reasons, and like those are the ideas you want. You're like ones that make sense on many regards. Oh, that looks so good already. Looks like the ice is built up around this. Like, where would we need some snowy piles? You don't need much sometimes. Let's see. I was thinking the ruler of Nurum was a warmonger elf who used the death march, but having the ruler be the lich would be more intriguing. Afraid to lose their power, afraid to lose relevance. So let's I don't know. Here's my 2 cents, right? So the first thing I think about with elves is like gifted with long life, like one of the creatures in most realms or lore that is the longest living creature, or in some cases even immortal, right? And perhaps we can do a play on that, right? Like kind of like a Napoleon short complex, but with their life. Like for some reason they, different from most elves of their kin, have a short life or have a timer on their life. Maybe they have like some type of weird magical ailment or something, right? And that, you know, drives them to be like, hey, I I am not gonna play by these rules. I'm gonna make my own rules, and I'm gonna be an elf lich, right? Ah, yep, wee. It's looking really good. Um, so I'm trying to find more spots to put snow because it looks good. Word. Yeah, maybe it's that's my 2 cents on. I think there's so many ways you could write this story, but it just like has it's so gripping. Ooh, nice haircut. I need to get one of those, hey. One day. We'll see you, Stormy. Thanks for stopping by. It's always a pleasure. Yes! Yes! The ice flow! It looks so good! Maybe we can put like another little feature in here. Yes, yeah, that actually looks cool. I like that idea. Or other little ice chunks or pieces I can use maybe. Maybe I'm just trying to like cover up these seams a bit almost. I gotta check it with, let's save. I'm gonna check it with the overlay off. And then I'm probably gonna call it soon. I'm got about 2 hours into work here. I'm happy with what I have done. I'm pretty much set up to do just one big forest, which is just kind of some dummy time, and then some swamping, which I love swamping because it's like I get to really curate and get in there and get the brush, get it going. I turn the overlay off so I can actually see it and see what I've made. Because there's some discoloration, there's some color like right here, over here, some spots or there's shading going on that actually isn't going on. Oh, it's saved. Okay, cool. I'm sitting here waiting for it to save and it says has already. Oh no. I did want to overlay. Remove overlays. So like this is what the map is gonna look like. Like in its true form. Big, and then we could even do this. It's gonna have the grid on it, but it's gonna have the grid. It's gonna have a hexagonal grid. Here looks wrong. There we go. It kind of looks like it soups up over here. And then all the hard edges over here. So swamp. I don't like this being grass. Been using actually this rock.
smush out like that. Grass. Cut it in nice and clean. Like so. Yeah, it's coming together. Let's see. Let's zoom in. Let's save one last time. And then we will... I just want to see what it looks like on the export vision. I wish I could move this thing, but this is like, you can kind of half see what it's gonna look like behind the screens there. It's gonna look great, dude. It's gonna look awesome. Could think about moving this. Maybe just slide it down. It's gonna be a lot of work to move it though. So we're just gonna boot down. We're gonna get some lunch. We're gonna say good job today. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. Nice to meet you, Gift to Gabby. I don't think we ever actually met Wizzy Dizzy, but whatever. We'll take it. It's a win. Peace, everybody. And take care. We'll see you tomorrow.